Oh Minla, you boosted us with your smiles. Oh Minla, you boosted us with your so far, guiding us to the light. When all the hopes were lost in the dark, when the world was falling apart, you came ahead with a loving heart. When the minds were clouded and full of doubts, the world was in pain and negativity, you made us hold on to the positive thoughts. Oh Minla, you boosted us with your smiles. Oh Minla, you've come so far, guiding us to the light. Inspired both young and old with patience and mindfulness, we thank you, oh Minla, we thank you. This gift that you gave us is larger than life, to go ahead with confidence and smile. We thank you, oh Minla, we thank you. M for mindfulness, I for innovation, N for newness, L for loyalty, A for activeness. You gave us the direction. Oh Minla, you boosted us with your smiles. Oh Minla, you've come so far, guiding us to the right. We thank you, oh Minla, we thank you, oh Minla, Meena ji and Lalit ji. We thank you for everything.
A global namaste to all of you. A good morning, a good evening, or a good afternoon to whichever part of the globe you're joining us from. A very warm welcome to all of you, the audience on Zoom, live on Facebook. Minla is so excited about today's session. Let me tell you what Minla is. Meena Khagram and Lalit Soda, Minla. We started our motivational, inspirational sessions at the beginning of the pandemic in the year 2020, when we wanted to make sure that that period where we were going through some disastrous time, wanted to make sure that we remain motivated and inspired. Through the last 2.5, up to about 3 years now, we have hosted almost 97 sessions. In fact, today is the 97th session with a wonderful female runner from India, Ashvini Bhat. So may I say, we are truly excited about having such a wonderful personality with us. Minla warmly welcomes Ashvini on our Zoom session. And once the traditional welcome by our lady host, Meena Ben Khagram, is completed, I will get a chance to then formally introduce our speaker, for the day. So, ladies and gentlemen, kindly open up your videos and have a good look at who is with us. Before we do that, Minaben, the floor is all yours. And we can traditionally welcome our speaker today, Ashvini Bhat.
Ashvini, this is for you. And welcome to London and Kenya. And that's for you. Welcome. So excited to listen to you.
Oh my God. I didn't expect this on a virtual session. You've taken me by surprise. It's very nice of you.
That is Minaben's specialty, to traditionally welcome our guests.
Yeah. Global namaskar to all. Jambo, my cute cousin, and Lalit, and myself are super excited to welcome you all to our Minla Zoom session. And those who have, we would like to also welcome those who have joined us live on Facebook. Welcome our Indian runner, inspiring lady, Ashvini ji. This time, I welcome you from City of London, where we now sing God Save the King. Last I sang in Kenya, when I was in a little school called Adis Vidyalaya School, and saluted the king, kind king, new king. That time, God Save the Queen. And then we started in 1952, we started singing God Save the Queen. I say, salute to King, King of England. It was a long walk. Congratulations and welcome to you. Ladies and gentlemen, Buevi and Buana. Let me introduce to our backbone of this session, Dr. Lalit Soda. Dr. Lalit is chiropractor, world-class speaker, and author. He believes in giving back to the society. Recently, he has climbed Himalayas and wished to do parikrama on Mount Kailash. I'm sure Ashvini will join as well. Lalit, we are very proud of you. He is also recipient of many awards, including Marwa Journalist Awards and World Lohana Mahajan Parishad Journalist Award. Thank you, Lalit. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Minaben. Very kind of you. Ladies and gentlemen, today we have Ashvini Bhat, all the way from India. I believe from Bangalore today. That's where she is. Yes. So before we embark on our session, I would like to introduce our speaker. Ashvini is a young 36-year-old lady married for the last 11 years and loves the love of her life, her mom. She has 2 cats and she runs with a serious thrust to find her potential. She was born and brought up in Bangalore, which is Bangalore as we know, but her parents are from a small village called Sagar in Karnataka. After 9 years in the IT field and as a software professional, she chose to experience life to the fullest and to find her potential in other avenues. It's been approximately 6 years plus since she redirected her energy from a full-time job and went into running, which she says is the best thing that happened to her. She was associated with Adidas as an athlete and a running coach for Adidas runners for close to about a year, from April 21 to April 22, and loved impacting lives through health and fitness. Her husband and her are outdoor lovers and extensively travel on their Royal Enfield across Ladakh, complete the TN coasts, complete Kerala coast, and the whole state of Rajasthan until 2015, after which she became more keen about exploring places on foot. Running has always been a therapy for her, and she finds solace in the concept that every single time she laces up, be it for a race, be it for a solo run or a training session or community run with friends, she feels blessed with most loving, supportive husband and a very understanding family. And she's been lucky to be capable enough to create the right environment to pursue her passion for running. Close to 8 years and over 100 official running events across the country, from the seashores of Kerala to the high passes of Ladakh, running has gifted her with confidence boosters, and at the same time has shown her that a lot more potential remains to be unearthed. Olympic distance and half iron distance triathlons in 2017 and 2018 were the way she was expanding her wings into multidiscipline sports. But she realized that running was the most important for her. Hence, she's been experimenting to find favorite distance running ever since. She chose to become a coach for 3 years, about 3 years ago. And it's been a great medium to learn and give back to the beautiful community of running. She's had the opportunity to do solo travels, hike in the Himachal, in Uttarakhand for many months, and feels most alive in mountains. She's traveled, hiked, and run at Ladakh a few times now and considers it her second home. Stock Kangri, 6153 meters high, is the summit. And she went up to the Kedarnath Peak Summit. She went to the Rupkund Jungarali Summit. Kashmir Great Lakes Trail are some of the hikes that she's witnessed at very high altitudes. She is also, and the achievements in the ultra running marathons thus far, she's achieved so many awards, of which in December 2019, she got the Shivaji Tiger Point Hill Challenge, 75K celebration run, 8.5, 8 hours 45, and she was 5th in position at the time. But even better than that, in September 2019, she did the Khardungla Challenge at Ladakh, 72 kilometers, and she stood second in position and first Indian woman with a course record of 10 hours and 39. She broke the record. She was the first Indian lady who broke the record for this. So wonderful achievements that she's had. The list of achievements carry on, and we are going to wait for Ashvini to tell us a little bit more about all that. So I'm super excited to welcome Ashvini Bhat on the Minla Zoom session. Ashvini, a very warm welcome to you.
Namaste to everyone. Thank you so much for joining in and for your time. I really appreciate that on a weekend, all of you are so patient and are here to listen to us talk. So thank you so much for that. And Dr. Lalit and Meena Ben, I'm really grateful to both of you for considering to having me on the session here. And Dr. Lalit, I don't think anyone has had so much of diligent introduction about anybody else on the session, taking so much time, and you're so kind with your words. So thank you for that. The chance meeting of meeting all of you at Everest Base Camp back in May is something that I consider a blessing, because I was traveling solo and I happened to meet this big Gujarati gang after a week of my hike in Nepal. So I consider it a really big blessing for me. So yeah, thank you so much for having me here.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to have you here. And just to introduce to the ladies and gentlemen how we found this lovely speaker, this is when I personally was trekking the Everest Base Camp, and we were at a height of about 5,300 meters high at a place called Gokyo Lakes, and we were in a tea house at the time, and our group of about 12 people strong, we were in the cafeteria there, and we met this lovely young lady, Ashvini, and we got talking, and that's how it was all revealed that she's a runner, she's a trekker, and she's a mountain lover, and absolutely has broken the record for as an Indian woman. And I thought, what a good personality to talk to, We had a session over there. We chatted with her, and just the inspiration we got from her was just outstanding. And here we are going to unfold that inspirational moment and what got Ashvini to the Everest Base Camp trekking and the running that she wanted to do and all her challenges that she's been through. So Ashvini, very warm welcome. Thank you very much for coming. And we are now going to engage into a question answer session, and let's see where the journey of the inspiration motivation takes us today. Are we okay with that, Ashvini?
Absolutely. Let's get on with it. I see quite a few people here. I'm sure many on Facebook. So let's get going.
Yeah, and more than here, also live on Zoom, and it's also being live broadcasted on Facebook. So we have many, many viewers there too. But Ashvini, that's great that we have got all the viewers, but I have a question for you. On one of your posts that you have made, Ashvini, the comment that you made, pursuing life as per my choice and writing my own story. That is the statement that really caught me. I really absolutely got energized with that statement. It made me think, how did you arrive to that statement? Pursuing life as per my choice and writing my own story. Tell us about it.
Well, you have a keen eye, Dr. Lalit. I must tell you, after on my Facebook profile, if you can find that line. So I'm really pleased about that. So, we all believe that we have to live through this template that has been laid out for us. Either it is through parents who believe that you're given a certain education and then you get into a job, you're married, or you settle down and you have a family. That's how people believe that they have to live life. So I'm an engineer. I come from an electronics and communication background. I was into project management. I worked for 9 years. But all along, there was this emptiness that I felt that needed to be addressed because I was very keen on getting into the medical field. But unfortunately, I couldn't make the cut. And that's how my dad decided that what's the next best thing to being a doctor? You get into engineering. So I ended up doing that as per his choice and his interests. And I'm really, really thankful that I had that support from my family to really be educated, which not many do. So I did that. But when I came into crossroads in my life where I could really take it anywhere. Many people feel stuck with where they have reached and they believe that that's how their life is and they can't do anything about it. But I felt we have to take that leap of faith. It's never really, you can't really sit and always regret somebody else's choices about your life. It's your life at the end of the day. So I took that leap of faith, and thankfully I had my in-laws and my husband who were very supportive about my decision to quit IT. And it was not running that got me out of IT, but it was just, I wanted to do something else. I wanted to explore what my talent is and what I can do and what else is out there in the world. So that's how that line.
Ali, if you can mute them, please. Sorry. Just mute the other two. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that's how it came about. And I strongly believe that everyone at whatever age they are in their life, because when I chose to do that, I was 29 and I was in a very well-paying job. I had worked in Europe for a couple of months, but then I believed that I really wanted to live my life on my own terms. And I had the support of my family to say, go ahead, live your dream, whatever you want to do, we are going to be behind you and going to support. So yeah, that's how it came about.
And I think I am still going to repeat that statement because I absolutely love it, pursuing my life as per my choice and writing my own story. And that is so true and so inspirational, Ashvini, that we've got to live life according to what we want to do, not according to impressing others or what others think what we should be doing, because it is your life. And I think that is something that you've really gone out, grabbed it, and are living it. And that's the living example. And that's what we really want to know from you today is, yes, you made this decision and this journey of running started for you. Now, if you can shed some light on how the running started for you, because that sort of inspired you to do other things.
Yeah, certainly. So after I quit my IT, I had been running for some time, I think about 6 to 8 months, which was inspired by a sponsored event from my company where there was a 10-kilometer event happening and our corporate decided to sponsor 30 of us to go run that. In hindsight, I think probably they would regret that decision because that really got me thinking and I decided to pursue life in a different way. But then that's how running happened to me. So I was very active in my childhood. I had an athletic background in school, but then life took over and all of that took a backseat. So when running happened, it really made me feel that there's so much more that I can do in life rather than just sitting in a cubicle or working in a 9 to 5 job. So that happened and it was like a light bulb moment. And since then, I've never really had any reason to look back and say, maybe I could have made another choice or taken a different decision. So it's been very rewarding and fulfilling for me. And each day that I head out running or trying to help people get started on their fitness journey, it makes me feel very, very fulfilled. So I've been very happy about it.
Very good. So it started from your working life, but you said you had some athletic background from your school. You were quite an athletic child. So what exactly as a child did you do? Did you as a child also do a lot of running or just in the...
So we had a lot of team events. I was into field hockey. I have played state level prelims field hockey in my high school days. And my dad was very supportive of my sporting interests. So pretty much everything from kho to volleyball, throw ball. And in the athletic front, I was a 1,200 and 1,500 meter runner. But discus throw and javelin were my stronger points. So for about 5 years from primary till my high school days, I was very active. I mean, every day I would come back from school and I would have wounds on my knees and my mom would be so worried that what am I going to do with this girl? She's always falling in school and gets injured. So I was a very outdoor person. I really like to be sweaty, dirty, and all over the place. But I enjoyed that childhood of being outdoors.
And how was this looked upon by your school friends? Being a female gender who's being so active in the sports field, which I would say discus and javelin, and those are not very female-oriented sports, if I may say. Yes, they are, but not to the extent that it's a male-dominating sport. How did the surrounding school peoples, your friends and everybody, how did they perceive that?
The saving grace was that I was in a girls' high school. So we had an all-women classmates were my friends. So most of us were into those. And, at that level, it was not really taken that seriously. And all of us were either you're good at it or you're not. So there's no in between, because you're the cream, you perform a little okay, then you're at the top. So you get to represent your school in probably a district level or intermediate. So it was okay, but I do have friends who would feel that going out in the sun, you would get tanned, and they were very, very worried about their complexion and how they would look, considering that is what was taught to us. And it had come down as a perception from the societal norms that women have to take care of themselves. They have to look good. And that gender bias was always there. But I think because my dad was much more supportive, I never really looked at it that way. I felt I have to do this. I'm going to go do it. Whatever happens as a result doesn't really matter. So it was okay, but I do have many friends now currently who come back and say that who are my school friends. They come back to me and say, "Oh, I wish that I had done something in school. We always stayed back and thinking that, oh, we should not be," but they regret that decision. Unfortunately, I was lucky in that thought process. Maybe it came from my childhood, so it was a good thing.
Great. So very determined as a young kid also. The determination factor was quite strong even then.
Yeah, all thanks to my dad.
Yeah. Obviously, you need a big support, and as you say, your dad was always inspiring you. But certainly, Ashwini, just before I go ahead with the conversation, there's a question that has come up, which from Mr. Upin. I will be taking that question, so please hang on. It's just a little bit of chronology in the questions I want to ask, and I'll definitely take your question on. But what I was going to say, Ashwini, obviously, as I said, you being the female gender was probably not a huge obstacle for you, but may have been perceived as an obstacle by others. Surely you must have faced other obstacles in coming up to a career like this. Would you be able to share some of the obstacles that you've been through?
I think the biggest obstacle, in my opinion, has to be self-belief. And self-doubt. So although I got out and then running happened, it was not my first choice as a career as such, but then I did photography for a year professionally and then decided that running really takes my heart racing and I feel much more alive there. So I really doubted at the age of 29, would I be able to do anything in running? Because that's not an age for any athletic marvels or achievements to happen. You know, we believe that teenagers are the ones who can really shine and probably represent the country or make it big in sport. But my thought process was, I'm going to do this for my health. And it really felt meditative for me. That's how it happened. So coming back to the question itself, with obstacles, you know, there have been a couple of races in which I have been the only women participant. All other guys out there, and I would be the only girl. And I've been looked upon with a raised eyebrow, and my ability would be questioned just because of the gender, not because of any other reason. So there have been times where I felt, why is somebody looking at me this way, although I have the credentials to be on the start line. So the first race that you mentioned about the 75-kilometer INS Shivaji, it's a naval base which is in Lonavala. They were celebrating the 75-kilometer run. And out of the 29 people who lined up, I was the only girl. And there were 17 naval officers there. So the commanding officer spoke to everyone before the start. It was a night run. And I was the only one who was at the end of the line. And he turns to me, he was very impressed. He raised his eyebrows and then he takes a step back and he told all his boys that, I hope you can take inspiration from this lady to have the courage to line up here and really go out and do well and finish this strong. You know, I think in some way that really inspired me to actually go out there and finish that in the best of my ability. That really spurred up my spirit. And fortunately, I finished 5th in that race of 29 people, out of which 28 were men. So those are the kind of, it might seem like a small obstacle, but I think as a society, we don't really give it that much of importance. And we think that, oh, it's just another girl. What can she do, kind of a thing. So yeah, I think it's about your attitude towards anything that is thrown upon you, how you look at it, and whether you can convert it to a positive thing or you dwell in negativity and think, oh, this is not for me, and things like that. So I will always try to convert it to something that can be of use to me, of advantage, and I use that as inspiration and try to go ahead.
Well, that's very interesting. So it's all in the mind. It's the mindset with which what you set out to do. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, so I believe that my finish that day would have probably sent a message that the next time there's only a girl, they would not really respond in that way. So that's the only way I feel we should be answering to anyone who's questioning you. Rather than words, use your actions. Prove them with what you can do rather than making it a verbal or any other kind of thing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, just another question that comes up to my mind. Now, you stood 5th in that race and you beat 24 or the 23 of the guys who were there. How
Yeah.
did they come and respond to you? Did they come and acknowledge you in the fifth position? What was the general consensus at the
Oh,
time?
so after that finish, I was treated like royalty. So the event didn't have a cash prize. They announced a cash prize from the Navy, the commanding officer, and the scenario completely changed. So I was happy about the fact that the thought process itself was got molded just by that result. But I think we have a long way to go in making that your own um, character rather than because of a result you are actually changing. So it really changed after that. Everyone came, they wanted photos with me, and yeah, I did got very over. It was very overwhelming for me to see the kind of adoration that uh, flew after that event. So yeah.
And when you stood in the fifth position, what was your prize, if I may ask you? Was it just a
So there
medal
was no
or?
cash prize for anybody else. So they called me on stage and they said that they're going to, they awarded a cash prize of 10,000. This was in 2019. And they had prepared a huge bouquet with a lot of mementos, a book, and a lot of things. And then there was a cocktail party that I was invited to from the Navy. They dropped me to the railway station, and so the attention that the traction that got because of the result was huge. And even that event then on gave me the confidence to just believe in myself much more than I was till that point, and always think, come what may, I'm going to go and see what happens. Not be successful, but see what happens. So that's been my way of looking at things now since then.
Brilliant. So one win can make your mind change into a positive mode very quickly.
Yeah, exactly. Like what I would say, any beginners who are getting into health or fitness, if you go out for a walk and it makes you feel good, even that is enough for that switch to be flipped. You don't have to go and run a marathon or lose like 10 kilos for that flip to happen. So just being open to the opportunities or whatever presents itself, that really helps, I feel.
Wonderful. So Ashwini, another question that leads to the question that's asked by Mr. Upin on the chat box. Obviously, being a female, being an Indian, and being a runner, you've got to feed yourself the right nutrients. Okay, your mindset is very positive because you've got to have that. But also your physical body has to be able to sustain, to withstand the training, the race itself. So what do you feed yourself? And the question was, as a runner, as a female, and if one were a Gujarati and a vegetarian, what kind of food have you fed yourself? And first, let me ask you, are you a vegetarian, vegan, or a meat eater?
I'm a vegetarian. I don't have eggs. So I can call myself a Gujarati now, isn't it?
Absolutely. Kem cho, Ashwini Ben.
Kem cho, majama.
There you
All
go. You're a
right.
Gujarati now.
So yeah, many people believe that because you're a runner, because you're a health enthusiast, you need to be having a certain different diet. But I've always grown up with a healthy lifestyle. That's been my blessing in disguise, I should say, because I come from this village called Sagar in Karnataka, where it's called the Malnad region. We have a lot of rains there, a lot of forests. So our upbringing had a lot of healthy food, a lot of greens, a lot of vegetables, and everything home cooked. Just being a runner didn't change too much for me, but I'm more considerate about having balanced meals. That's what my approach has been to food. So I'm not really just having just rice or dal or things like that, but I'm going to always include some kind of pulses with it, or there are seeds, I try and do very little supplements or external protein powders or things like that, but just have natural foods. So my whole bottom line has been, if my grandmom would not identify the food too much, then probably it's not something that I want to try. So even before I got into running, I have never been a fast food lover or never really enjoyed eating out that much. So I think that really helped me transition into running much more easily than many people do, because they believe that they have to change their diet completely. So once they get into healthy lifestyle, people tell them that don't eat this, don't eat rice, don't do this. And it becomes very restrictive and people have a chance of relapse. They always want to go back to their old habits because they're being told don't do this. Rather, if they know that this is good for me, then I think it'll stick around for a longer time. So a lot of pulses, a lot of vegetables, and because I do a lot of running and mileage per week of 80 to 100 or 120 kilometers per week, because that's my my profession requires that. So I do have some kind of proteins in the form of natural. There are these dried mushrooms and all of that, which come as a powder, which I work with a nutrition company now. So they make these, but with no additives. So I try and have just simple home cooked, but balanced meals all the time. And off season, I'm always binging on sweets. So I am a true Gujarati by heart. I can have a lot of sweets. And it does amaze my in-laws at times, because if there's a one vessel of kheer which is prepared, I can sit and just gobble up half of it in no time.
So kheer is your favorite sweet dish, then, is that correct?
Anything sweet.
Gulab jamun, rasgulla, rasmalai. Oh,
Yeah,
my
very
God.
much. I just believe that it's about timing. Many
Yes.
people just have it at whatever time. I try and avoid it after sundown, because that's when your digestive systems are much more weaker. So you want to have it early in the morning, breakfast, after breakfast, or before lunch, or those are the times when you can really have a lot of calorie rich meals and still be okay with not really putting on weight. So because I burn a lot of calories, my resting metabolic rate is quite high. So I have the leverage of going all out and having them. But I think it's very individual. You'll have to find what works for you.
Sure. So I know when we were on Everest, Ashvini, it was the slogan was Dal Bhat
Dal bhat.
Power 24-hour.
Yes.
So is that what you sustain on, survive on when you're running? Do you eat a lot of dal bhat?
So at Nepal, it was one day, each day I would have one dal bhat for sure, which was the unlimited meal for me. Anyone who doesn't know, it's rice with one serving of vegetables by the side and some form of dal. But here, I did carry a lot of dry fruits and seeds with me to supplement along with what food I was having. But I think it pretty much works. You know, I had done this, the continuous glucose monitoring cycle of 2 weeks to find out what is the food that really works for my body. So if there are people who are really struggling with weight, the market is really open. You just need to get that small sensor and you can just put it on your arm, and it really gives you a lot of insights, and that can really help you understand how your glucose varies. So for me, what I found out was rice really works for my body rather than roti. So yeah, the switch is not really replace or reduce the amount. It's more about having more balanced food, have more vegetables, have more dal, and automatically your body would say, okay, I can reduce the amount of roti or the rice I'm having.
Wonderful. So I hope this answers the question for Upen. Upen, it's all pulses, all vegetables, dal bhat, enjoy the Gujarati meal, and a little bit of halwa is okay. Correct?
Yes, absolutely. You don't have to restrain yourself just because, oh, I should not be eating. You know, when we do that, we create a craving in our body by always saying that. So
Meena
it's okay
Ben,
to do.
somebody, you can eat everything. Okay. I have to hassle Meena Ben because she walks 5 kilometers, but then she goes into a Costa Cafe and has the best almond croissant full of cream and has a full latte and says, I love this. And then she goes for a 5K walk. I think you can eat and burn your calories, not a problem.
Yeah, movement really helps. If you're just sitting and eating and not really burning them, rather you would do something and then you're balancing it out. But after a certain age, I think it really helps to be mindful, to know, okay, I ate this, how does it make my body feel? That's what I go by. Now, it's not just this certain kind of food. There are certain things that you eat. I've experienced it myself. You feel lethargic, you feel very sleepy. You know that probably you ate too much or it doesn't really suit your body's mechanism. So it's about finding the foods that still allow you to go by your day without putting you just down and put you into a slump.
Sure. So the other question, Upin, thank you. We got your thumbs up, so that's kind. One of the other questions I was going to ask you, Ashvini. So when you say you do about 80 to 120 kilometers a week on your running, you get that kind of mileage every week. So for that, is there any other training you do, or you just go for it on a daily basis? You do X amount and that amounts to about 120 a week. Is there any other form of training that you do?
So there's strength training 3 times a week. That's very important. When I started running as a beginner, if it was just 10 kilometers or up to 21K, your body gets by. Just running, not doing anything else, it's still okay. It's not that much of a load. But as we increase the load, and because my distance is 12 hours or 24-hour stadium runs that I do, we need to condition the body to be able to take those load and not get injured. So 2 to 3 times a week of an hour to an hour and a half of strength training, specifically doing functional work for the muscles that will be used for running. And I've been fortunate to work with a company called Behavioral Foresight, who are sports psychologists. So we do a lot of breath work and mental training that really helps to see everything from a different angle. It's not just a competition or you're performing at a certain level. So that's how my week is. Other than that, it's running. So the strength and conditioning helps me ensure that the muscles are primed for the mileage that I'm going to do for that particular week. It's not always that high. There's periodization. So 2 weeks I do 100K, 120, and then it goes down to say 70 or 80. I'm a runner who runs a lot by feel. So 80% of my runs are much more low intensity, easy efforts, and 20% are hard efforts. So it really, I go back by the end of the week and see how did that make me feel? Am I really like beaten and exhausted, or am do I have that reserve to look forward to the next week? I think that's where if you can still be excited through that grind, you know that you didn't really go all out, and it should be something sustainable, in my opinion, whatever you're doing. So it's all or nothing, in my opinion. So 100% mindfulness of how much I'm running, what kind of intensity, and then the other things complemented. And a couple of times yoga per week is how my week usually goes.
Wonderful. So 2 questions that arise from this conversation. You said that there is something that triggers you. There is something, that inspiring moment within you. What is it, that one factor that keeps you going and say, I'm not tired. I can push this. I can do it next week, and I can do it week after week after week. What is that one inspiring thing that keeps you going?
Until July of this year, when I had the opportunity to represent the country at the championship, which was the Asia Oceania Championship, and Australia and China participated there. So that had been a dream of mine, I think for about 3 years now. 2019 is when I started aiming for it. So when you have a goal big enough, I think every day, whatever you're doing, you know that it amounts up to that goal and it's going to take you there. But I would say it's not really always highs. It's not that I'm always inspired. I'm not always, every day, I'm not like, okay, I want to go running. There are days when I feel I don't want to do this. I do go through them. But because I have the help of my psychologist coach, who has provided me with tools that I can use and then come back with a better mindset. So the biggest thing that inspires me is such a privilege it is that I'm able to do this that many people can only dream of. I have many friends in my close female friends who have kids who don't get to do a lot of physical activities or do anything else apart from just taking care of kids or just manage their 9 to 5 jobs and things like that. So I think deep down, I feel the kind of impact that I can make is really the driving force. Apart from that, it's my husband. That's my biggest inspiration, because he keeps telling me, whatever you aspire to do, I'm here to support you. So when
wow.
on the days that I feel I don't want to do something, my alarm goes off at 5 o'clock and I have a run planned, and I feel, oh, I want to sleep for some more time. And I just turn around and look at my husband sleeping, and I tell myself, yeah, I want to do that for my hubby who's there and who wants to see me shine. Athletics is as such that you have a prime age. Maybe I have another 5 years or 7 years with endurance to really perform at my peak. So I want to use that opportunity and then inspire more people, more women get into a healthy lifestyle, be it just getting into walking as a habit. So there have been people who've messaged me, the other day I was running there's this park in Bangalore called Lal Bagh, and I was running and I hear somebody just say, shout out a girl, I'm very proud of you. And I've never met her. I turn around, I'm like, sorry, do I know you? And she said, hey, I follow you on Instagram and I really feel very happy about all your posts. So it might feel, social media might feel like a lot, very narcissistic, and people are posting about what they're doing and all of it. But I think it's about how you use it. So if that single post of mine makes a girl who's at home taking care of their kid or something, makes her feel that, 30 minutes, I can still maybe walk in my house itself and get some kind of workout. There's nothing more powerful than that. There is Azadi Ka Amrut Mahotsav. There's a lot of fitness which is being pushed out into India through Modi ji and all of it. But at the end of the day, is somebody feeling inspired enough to do something for themselves? It's a political agenda. People want you to do it. But do you feel that if I can be active, it helps me? Does it make me feel good? So that's my biggest inspiration, seeing somebody else go out and just do whatever they can, not get into running, just be active.
Wonderful. What a lovely answer to that question. So you said that the Asia Oceanic Championship was the goal 3 years ago. Yeah. Now,
representing India was the goal.
yes. And now what is the goal?
The goal is to be still exploring where my potential lies. I feel that there's a lot more that I want to see what more I can do. So I'm not really restricting myself to say I want to just represent India. I want to aim higher. I want to see where else my feet take me. So I'm just keeping it open, even after sadly, my mother's passing a month and a half ago. I'm still resetting my whole goal system, and I'm taking it by the day. I'm just getting back to my fitness. And so currently I don't have big goals as such, but the long-term goal is to get into coaching and make an impact on many people's lives and make them realize how important it is for you to take care of yourself.
Great. That's an amazing goal that you have ahead of you. You're like exploring, you're waiting for something miraculous, obviously something that will shine in your path. And there's no harm in keeping those options open, isn't it?
Yeah. But keep working. That's what, so even that Ladakh Marathon or the Kadungla Challenge that I did back in 2019, I was already in the fitness regime. So I always believe you're always training. It's not like, I have a race, I train. If not, I'm just sitting there not doing anything. So you just keep a base level of training going all the time, because it's for your health. It doesn't matter if there's an event coming up or not. When 2020 happened, all of us were stuck at home and events were called off, nothing was happening. But even at home, my husband and I started intermittent fasting. I saw a question on fasting good, so I thought it can come up. So we began intermittent fasting with just having fruits as breakfast because I was just tired to prepare breakfast every morning. We thought, why not fruits? We started out and it made us feel good. And we kept up that regime. Every day we would do some strength work at home, or we would do some interesting workouts. YouTube is a great platform. Many people think that it's just about um, the hype and all of it. There are a lot of workout videos that are very simple dance workouts. You just go on YouTube, you just give dance workout videos. You have 20 minutes, 30 minutes. You have indoor walk videos on YouTube. So simple things, which don't really cause too much of a trouble for you. So for you to just get started, there is ample amount of database available there. So we started that, and then it felt that, yeah, it doesn't matter if I'm not able to run. I couldn't run or get out of the house for 4 months. I chose not to, although many people would because the roads were closed and all of it. So you can still maintain it if you choose to. So it's a choice that you have to make.
Wonderful, wonderful. So yes, on getting on to the fasting question that came up from, I believe it says Hasit's iPhone. So whoever that lady is on that phone is asking, what do you think about fasting as a diet? Or is that something that you would encourage as a runner, discourage, or what do you think about it?
Our Indian way of, so I've done Hatha Yoga, I've done courses on Hatha Yoga from Isha Function and all of it. So we have fasting as a habit. People have been doing it to give that rest to the body, to the whole digestive system, because we're loading it always. But depending on the age and if your body can take it, I would say trying out certain periods of fasting is a good thing, but it depends on your medical condition. I'm not a doctor to say you can just go ahead, it's good or anything. But 16 hours is an intermittent fasting window. So if you can have your dinner, say at 7 or 8 o'clock, and you break your fast with a good solid lunch, that really is a good thing. But it depends. If you don't have any medical conditions, no issues with diabetes or blood, everything is okay, then fasting really helps because it resets your system. But it's going to take some time for us to get to this of always thinking about food. That's what initially my prognosis was with how making the window say 10 hours or 12 hours. See how that makes you feel. If it is really putting you into a state where you feel you can't do anything at all and there's shivering or you're developing bloating or acidity issues, then you'll have to see what kind of food can help. So it's a big question, but I would say with a professional nutritionist or somebody, you can maybe a couple of visits, find out how your body responds, and then you can get on with it. So I hope that you get on that journey and figure it out for yourself.
Very kind. Thank you for that response. We also had a lovely comment from a gentleman called Lalit Mojaria, who says your fitness regime and your mental mindset was very motivating and inspiring. So thank you for that feedback. We appreciate that. Ashvini, before we continue, it's very interesting because people will see you on a talk today, but if people want to see more of you and more what you post on Instagram about the inspirational, motivational sessions that you do on health and fitness, how can one start following you, or would you share your Insta handle over here so that people can actually follow you if they can?
Yeah, surely. So, I was on Facebook, and when Instagram was picking up, I was thinking, oh, there's an Instagram handle and then there's a username. And then I was like, handle, how do I give this? But I had to looking for something in my life. So my Instagram handle was Make Life Happen Now. So that's what it has remained all these years. So I think you have to grab it by the horn. So Make Life Happen Now with underscores after each word. Make _life_happen now. So if you feel that I can be of any help to your own health and fitness journey, and I began this 30-day, 30 minutes mantra for myself. It was more about, after my mom's demise, I had this 2 months break. I had not been active. I wanted to get back, and I felt that there might be people who are on this phase of trying to return to fitness. They've been active, but then they hit a slump. They've not been doing anything, or people who are just beginning. So 30 minutes of any activity that you choose. It could be just 30 minutes of walk. It could be 30 minutes of yoga or running or whatever you choose to. So I began that, and I've had a huge response, and I felt really good. And it has inspired me in turn on days when I felt I don't want to do something. So yeah, if you want to follow, and if you feel that I could be of any help, make life happen now.
Wonderful. So make life happen now. If you can, also, if you don't mind, just type it on the chat box so people can see that. Sure. Exactly the spelling, the underscores, and where it goes. That would be great. So follow Ashvini on Make Life Happen Now and see all the inspirational, motivational stuff that she does on her Instagram. So lovely, lovely, lovely to hear that. It's amazing how people can get inspired by all this. Yes, thank you. It's come up on the chat box. Make life happen now. Follow her on Instagram. She's posting some wonderful stuff. So that's great. Now, Ashvini, I have another question for you. When we were on the Everest together, we met at GoQ. We did a lovely video together, and that's what has been posted on Facebook and on Instagram. You said you were married and you were pursuing this on your own. That particular trip on Everest Base Camp, you had set out on your own, without a guide, without a Sherpa. You set out from Bangalore, came to Kathmandu, came to Lukla, flew into the Everest and walked. And you were trekking up the Gokiri, you were trekking to the base camp, all on your own.
Yeah.
What actually inspired you to do that particular trek? What inspired you?
Well, the motivation for the trek itself was the Everest Extreme Ultra Marathon, which is a 60-kilometer run, which happens from Everest Base Camp. But the real reason that I chose to do it on my own, or just get out there and do that marathon, was my mom. She was not really keeping well and in good condition, but that opportunity came up, and I had somebody who was willing to support me on that mission, and said that if you're willing to. My mom was supposed to undergo surgery, and am I clear?
You're clear, but you seem to be breaking up a little bit due to some network issue. But
yeah, I saw that my network is not stable. Message. Is it okay now?
We can hear you. Yes, carry on.
Yeah. So it was an inspiration from my mom, who was not well, and that opportunity came up, and I told her about it, and she said she was supposed to undergo surgery for her cancer, and taking all her strength and all her positivity, I told myself, I'm going to go. And I gave my hopes to her that I want to see you well and good when I come back. So I had her in the back of my mind when I chose to go on that trip. And the reason for doing it solo was that, I was supposed to run 60 kilometers from Everest Base Camp, which is not an easy thing. I've had some experience running at high altitude with Ladakh Marathon or going on a few high altitude treks that you mentioned. But I do understand the kind of demand that 60 kilometers in that kind of altitude places on your body. So I wanted to put myself in a situation prior to that itself. So if you have a guide or a chef, the hike itself is dictated by them. But I wanted to do it on my own terms. So there have been days when I've taken just 4 hours to get from point A to point B, when usually people would say take 8 hours. But some days I've done even the 3-hour hike in 12 hours. So if I feel that particular location or a view is really beautiful and it connects with me, I would have just sat there. I've journaled, I've taken some pictures and just enjoyed it. So I felt that it gives me that option of going at my own pace. And I had this strong belief that I have the ability to do it on my own. And considering Everest Base Camp is a very frequented route, I knew that I would see people on the road. It was not like I was always on my own. And I've been very lucky to meet very kind people like you, Dr. Lalita, and the whole group of yours. And I've experienced trail magic. I'm not sure many people understand this of hiking. I met just complete strangers who offered me different things. At Gokyo, after you guys left, and I stayed there for another 4 days because I was just doing a lot of up and down runs across the Fifth Lake and all of it. I met a couple of Spanish guys who were staying at Gokyo, and they had done their EBC there. They were actually heading out back to Namche. And I think we spent quite some time in the common area of the cafeteria, having lunch and just inquiring, exchanging pleasantries. So the day they left, they've left in the morning, early morning. The hotel owner tells me that they have left thermals, what is this? The warmers, the stick-on foot warmers for me. So I met such wonderful and kind people on the trek that I felt that it was in some way a calling for me that I had to do this on my own. So I just chose to carry my bag. It was 15 kgs in weight. And I felt when I run, because I will not have that additional baggage, it'll make it much more easier. So it was just this mindset that put myself in harder things, and the harder thing that is going to come up, it will be easier.
Wonderful. Lovely mindset to have and a lovely goal to have. And it was, I must say, that was a very, very fun-filled experience, a challenging experience, and nature was just beautiful. As you say, pictures won't do any justice to this nature, but being there and experiencing the early morning sunrise and the sunset and everything just at the Gokyo Lake at 5,300 meters high was just an experience on its own.
Yes, absolutely. And if any one of you, I've met people from all age groups, Dr. Lalit also included. There were so many people who inspired me so much. The whole group was, I think, 50 plus, but all of them were so enthusiastic. And I felt, if they are able to do Everest Base Camp, then I should be able to run that 60-kilometer run. So I drew inspiration from each and every person that I was meeting on the way. And it made me feel that, at my age, with the ability, with the fitness that I have and my training, this is not too hard. So I was very lucky on that.
Wonderful. Thank you. So there's a couple questions that have come up. We've got almost a 96-year-old gentleman. Miraben, correct me if I'm wrong. It's Mr. Manubhai Chandaria, 96 years old. He's lying on his bed. He's waving his hand to us. And he has a question to ask you. He says, is this girl a Gujarati girl? Manubhai, she's not Gujarati. She's from Karnataka. Ashwini, what's your Brahmin girl? Well, what's your background?
Yeah, so we are born and brought up in Bangalore, a Brahmin. And, I've heard this from many people. So I've done a lot of solo traveling in Himachal, Uttarakhand. And wherever I've gone, I don't know why, but people think I'm from that region. So I've been in Kinnaur in Uttarakhand or Himachal, and people think I'm a Kinnauri. That's until I open my mouth. As soon as I start talking in Hindi, South Indian. So that comes out.
Yeah, I think the language gives it away sometimes, the way we pronounce certain words and how we speak. So yes.
Yeah, मेरी हिंदी तो बहुत अच्छी है, but लोग समझते हैं कि South Indian.
I think it's the accent that gives it away. Now, Ashwini, the question Manubhai also asks, are you in the Guinness Book of Record?
Being the optimist that I am, not at the moment, but maybe someday with your blessings, sir.
Manubhai Manubai, please, we'll give you 30 seconds. Ellie, if we can unmute Manubai. Manubai is a very big entrepreneurial philanthropist at this time, ran a huge business empire all over the world. At 96, his brain is still very sharp. So we want Manubai over here to give his blessings to Ashvini. Manubai, just so that you know, Ashvini is also an award winner from the Queen Elizabeth, and she actually awarded him a MBE, Member of the British Empire. So Manubai, there you are. Go ahead.
Ashwini, it's wonderful to listen to you. My God, I thought you were Gujarati food eating Karnataka girl. I couldn't believe it. Congratulations. It's a great to see and hear the record makers. And then you went to the Queen. I also said the Queen in 2003. And I got OBE from there.
Yeah, Order of the British Empire. That's the OBE, not MBE. My apologies. Yes.
Oh, OBE, yeah. Thank you.
Correct.
Thank you.
Thank you, Manubai. A keen supporter of Mindla Zoom session, attends every Zoom session. And Manubai at 96 was our inspiration, motivation speaker as to how he started his business empire and where he is today. And look at the gentleman relaxing on his bed and having a great time. So that's
I'm 93. Don't make me 96. 93.
Chalo, 93. No problem. Bhagwan 100 varish na kare tamne, Manubai.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's so wonderful.
You.
I have had the opportunity to, so I have a cousin in Vadodara. So, and I did one run from Surat to Dandi. It was a solo run that I did, and I had a couple of friends support. So Gujarat doesn't feel like an alien thing for me. And I've been fortunate to have friends from all across the state and now across the world. So yeah, I'm really lucky. I feel very blessed with this whole opportunity of connecting with everybody. Thank you so much.
Wonderful.
You should come to Kenya, because Kenya is a world leader in running.
Sure, someday, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you, Manubai.
Manubai, thank you very much. Ali, thanks very much for that. Ashwini, we've got about 3 more questions and we've got about 5 minutes. We're going to take a question that has come up on the chat box from Mr. Lalit Mojaria. Very quickly, we'll answer that if you may. We'll give you a minute to answer that question. The question is, I run a lot. My hamstrings go very tight. Was wondering if you got any advice to relax and make the hamstrings lighter, or shed some light on that subject.
You're a runner. Okay. Congratulations, Lalji. I'm very happy to hear from a runner on this chat. First things, so opposing muscles. So this is the hamstring, which is the back of the leg. And then in the front, you have the quads, the quadriceps. So if it's always the hamstrings that are getting tight, it's probably an indication that your quads are much more weaker and you need to work on strengthening your quads. It's not just about stretching out the hamstrings. So strengthening the quads with different exercises, you can definitely go up and look up for tools on how to strengthen quadriceps. And one of the main things would be working on mobility. So if your hip muscle itself is very tight with whatever is our lifestyle of sitting for a long time and all of it, it can cause discrepancies in the strength of different muscles. So you could definitely work on strengthening different muscle groups rather than just thinking about hamstring as a single unit, because all of it works in tandem. I'm sure Dr. Lalit can give much more inputs, being the expert in that area. But with my knowledge, what I have seen is if there is an indication from one particular area that something wrong and it's getting tight or it's telling you, it's for us to look for what other areas that I need to work on.
Wonderful. Great explanation, Ashwini. As they say, it's not an individual muscle working, it's working in tandem with the other joints and muscles. So thank you for that answer. Very wonderful. Next question would be, being a female, being a runner, being an Indian female runner, what are the top three tips that you would share for the Indian subcontinent or runners from wherever, from other ethnic origin, but being an Indian, what would you share? The top 3 tips that they should follow or they should do to inspire them to get into running?
Okay, so first thing would be self-belief. Many times what happens is I see a runner, they can be a 5 kilometer 10 or a marathoner, and we think, oh, I can never do that. So even before we are starting, we are already putting ourselves in a position of not being able to finish something. So self-belief is the biggest thing. So it doesn't matter where you are right now. You know, when I began my running journey, when we had that 10 kilometer run, which was sponsored by our company, and we had like, I think 2 months to prepare for it. And I couldn't run more than half a kilometer at a stretch. That's how I began my running journey. So I told myself that I'm going to go out there and put 30 minutes or 45 minutes. And even if I'm able to run for half a kilometer or a kilometer, doesn't matter. I'm just going to be on the road and put time. And gradually with time, I saw that that half a kilometer became a kilometer. And then it gradually progressed. So self-belief is one of the biggest things. Second thing is discipline. So many times that is one thing that I'm still working on myself. I'm a work in progress. It's not like I have mastered it, but if you can be consistent and find the discipline for yourself, I'm sure whatever you're doing in life, not just running, you will definitely excel. And the third thing is courage. You should have the courage to tell yourself that it doesn't matter what shape I am, what weight, or how I look. Many people, most of us have this notion that, oh, I look bad. If I dress up this way, what would people think? Or the societal pressure that we put on ourselves. So have that courage to begin. You know, people have a lot on their plate itself. So they don't have the time to really look at you and give you that much of thought. So don't really be bothered about what somebody else might think if you do something. So self-belief, discipline, and courage. I think these are the 3 things in anything you want to do in life can really help us get there.
Wonderful. Those are very good 3 tips. Ladies and gentlemen, whether you're watching us on Zoom or live on Facebook, we repeat those 3 wonderful tips shared by this awesome runner from India. Have self-belief, have discipline in what you do, and have courage to begin and continue. Wonderful tips. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing those. Now, a couple of very quick final questions, Ashvini. Who actually inspires you to do all this?
My husband. So his name is Sandeep, and
Sandeep ko bulao. Ghar pe unko bulao.
He's gone cycling.
No. How can this be possible? You're doing a lovely Zoom session, which is a global thing, and wo chale gaye cycling ke liye? That's not on.
He's definitely going to sit back and watch this whole live later. That's how we do it. Fortunately, I have had a lot of opportunities to be. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
All good?
Yes,
okay.
All good.
So I've been very fortunate to have multiple stages like this of addressing people or be on live and things like that. So I understand it takes a lot of his time for him to be available whenever I go live. So he always sits later on and then goes through the session and tells me, you spoke well here, or you had good points, or you can really work on this. So, you know, everything is a learning. So he is my torch bearer, and he keeps telling me, and you can improve on these, or these are the things that you could work on. So he is my biggest inspiration ever.
Very nice. Very nice. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. Because behind every, as they say, the statement goes, behind every successful man, there is a woman. And here, behind a very successful woman, there certainly is a man called Sandeep Bhat. Is that correct?
Sandeep Satyanarayana. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So the last names I knew I was going to probably go for from
there.
So
it was my dad's, my maternal side, and I've kept it. So
okay.
you can understand how open-minded he is, because I never changed my name after I got married.
Wow. So he's Sandeep Satyanarayan.
Yeah.
So big hats off to Sandeep Satyanarayan for supporting such a lovely cause, such a lovely woman, and who else but your other better half. So wonderful. Thanks to him. Okay, a couple quick questions. Any marathon that you would want to run?
I have Comrades Marathon, which happens in South Africa, which is a 90-kilometer run. That is something that piqued my interest this year. So yeah, someday I would like to run that.
And how about London Marathon?
I had not thought about it because, we have Ellie here from Kenya who would definitely say, I'm not a fast runner like the blessings that all of you have. But London Marathon is part of the world majors. So it's part of the 6 marathons across the world. And considering my interest in ultra endurance, which is longer distance running, I had not really thought about it. But now that I have such lovely friends in London and my brother moved to London recently, I think I will definitely consider it sometime. And if I get an opportunity to meet all of you, why not run and then meet and make merry?
Absolutely, absolutely. That would be an awesome thing. So yes, let's introduce the thought into your mind. London Marathon is the next one to do. And one thing, when we met at Base Camp Everest, you were going to do the Everest Marathon. Did we do that?
Yes, I did. So
tell us about it.
60-kilometer run starting from Everest Base Camp. And we were 14 of us, and I was the only girl again lining up. And yeah, it went well. It was super hard. It was the toughest race that I have run. It took me a good 14 and a half hours to finish just the 60 kilometers. But with all the elevations and all of it,
yes.
It did take a lot. But I did finish well, and I was fortunate that I did make a good time, and it was the 4th best international women's time of the whole race of 19 years thus far. Yeah, mountains are always very kind to me. Anytime I go there, they bless me with all the positivity and all the strength. So I felt tired. I finished at night. It started at 6 in the morning from Everest Base Camp, and by the time I finished, it was 10:30-ish. But I never felt that I'm in an alien land. It was the first time I was in Nepal and all of it, but it went really well.
Very good. Very good. Yeah. So just once again, I'd like to say that all of us who met you at the base camp at Gokyo Lake from Earthbound Expedition, the company that brought us there with Mr. Badri Gajarel and the team, all of us remember you very much, and all of us have sent greetings to you. Not everybody could join in live today due to their other commitments, but they all say a very, very big hello from all of us at Gokyo Lake, from Earthbound Expedition to little Ashvini over there, and wishing you all the very best, Ashvini.
Thank you so much. I remember each and every one that I met as well.
Wonderful.
And the 2 women who were on your group also inspired me a lot.
Correct.
And I remember you giving them massages after the hike and all of it.
That was Uma Ben and Rashmita Ben. Yes, both are very inspirational people. They've done more treks after they've come back from base camp. One has been to Peru. One of them has been to Kilimanjaro, I think. And so they're still pursuing their trekking. So they're all doing very well.
Wonderful. No stopping you people. So
yes. Wonderful. Now, this brings us to the end of our formal conversation with Ashvini, who's inspired us. And I'd like to leave this session by the 3 most important words that Ashvini has shared that I really resonate with, and the viewers will certainly take this on board: self-belief, discipline, and courage. Those are the 3 big words that we get from Ashvini's talk today. Thank you very much for sharing that. Ashvini, time is fast flying, and we have to make sure that we get through our rapid fire round, which is the most popular thing on our Minla Zoom session. So next is a very rapid fire round, and it says a quick question, a quick answer. Are you ready for that? Yeah?
All right, let's see how I can do that. Cool.
Wonderful. Ashvini, welcome on the Minla Zoom session, a rapid fire round. The first question, or the word, running.
Meditative.
Hiking is the other word.
Alive.
The best hike of your life thus far.
Stokangri at Ladakh.
A brand of shoes that you wear
Not
while
really.
trekking.
It
While
doesn't
trekking.
matter. While trekking, I did wear the Hoka Speed Goat 4, but then I believe shoes don't really make a difference. It's what's in you that really makes the difference.
Okay, lovely. Who inspires you, Ashwini?
I think just as a whole thing, my husband, but I am inspired by every single person that I meet. Now I'm very inspired by Manubai, who's 93 and who's still on the Zoom call after 1 hour, 10 minutes. So every single person that I meet, I'm very inspired by each.
Thank you. The name Paula Jane Radcliffe.
Like the Sir Roger Bannister effect, who was the first person to break the 1 mile under 4 minutes. Radcliffe was the legend who actually broke the marathon record for women, not being a non-Kenyan or an Ethiopian. So yeah, a huge name. I've read her book and I've listened to a lot of podcasts, really inspired.
Wonderful, wonderful. Very quickly, top 3 tips for a runner.
Top 3 tips. I think the same things, but other than that, don't go by what is the hype. Shoes or wearables or things like that. It's what's in you that really matters. Second thing, it's okay to fail. It's okay to not do well and meet your expectations. You have to go through the valleys to reach the peaks. So it's okay. And the third one would be go out there and explore. Don't set limits for yourself. Don't tell yourself that I'm a 10K runner and I'm going to stick to 10Ks. You never know what your potential is. So explore.
Thank you. You're a South Indian, Ashwini.
Yeah.
Your
Yes.
favorite dish, dosa or idli sambar?
Dosa, definitely. Onion dosa.
Onion dosa. Wonderful. Your ultimate hero, Ashwini?
Oh, my ultimate hero is any mother, I would say. They say that after something happens, you tend to believe that more. But having seen my mom and how she managed it all without us realizing it, now in her absence, I really feel that women are the biggest heroes in life.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. The name Duty Chad.
Duty Chand, yeah, the 100-meter run of courage. She was the first one in Indian athletics who actually came out to be bisexual. And I believe it takes a lot to be open when you are a record holder and there's a lot of media around you. So courage is what comes to my mind when I hear her name.
Perfect. Women empowerment.
It's overrated. I believe that we don't need women empowerment as a separate thing and tell people that, oh, we're doing this to empower women. Rather, from our homes, we have to just make our, we have to give equal opportunities to women as we're growing up. That will make us much more empowered than it coming from an external source. So whatever treatment a guy gets at home, if the same treatment can be given to the girl, I think she will empower herself.
Thank you. A quick one, quick answers. Everest Base Camp.
Not what I had thought.
Same here. Everest Base Camp. Eliud Kipchoge, the runner.
Oh, the God of running with his humility and whatever he's achieved.
Great. Your ultimate travel destination, Ashwini?
India.
Ah.
I believe there's lots of places that I have not been to and have not explored. There's so much more to see. So I want to see my country much more before then going on.
Perfect. Where do you get your strength from?
I don't know. I think it's more about the impact that it can make. That's my strength.
Perfect. Who is your role model?
Courtney Dauwalter in running. She is a runner from the US who is a big name in the industry, but for her humility and how grounded she is despite all her achievements, I really look up to her.
Perfect. Being a runner, being a South Indian, living in India, do you go to the streets, buy vegetables and do some bargaining?
I do buy vegetables, but I don't bargain. I believe that we should not be bargaining with people who don't have the means. We don't bargain when we go to a mall or we buy anything, and I don't feel it's right to go to people who make a living through that to bargain. So I do a lot of shopping because I eat a lot of veggies, but no bargaining.
Thank you. Bollywood or Hollywood? Which one do you like?
Hollywood animation movies.
Thank you. Your favorite Hollywood animation movie then?
How to Train Your Dragon.
Perfect. And the last question, Dr. Lalit Soda's rapid fire round.
Surprising, humorous, and intriguing.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Ashvini, for participating on the Minla Zoom session rapid fire round. We are truly excited and truly thrilled with the question and answer session we had with you. You have certainly inspired. You've already seen some comments that have come. A comment from a regular visitor, Mrs. Pravina Ben. Thank you for inspiring us, is what she says. Lalit Mojare says, hey, Ashvini, team, for a great Zoom meeting. We'll remember this for a while. All the best. And Manubai says, hey, my manager's son is in South Africa, ran the ultra marathon. Lovely to share some wonderful messages. Thank you very much. Let me invite our Meena Ben Kagram, our superhuman lady who roams around the world, not just virtually, but currently she is in London and she's addressing everybody from Northwood in London. Meena Ben, your time to give a vote of thanks to this wonderful speaker.
Thank you so much. I'm really inspired. Tomorrow, I'm going to run instead of walking in Northwood area. Habariya journey to all. Good evening. This is my pleasant and humble duty to end this session with the heartiest thank you to Ashvini ji. Wow, it was very inspiring. Thank you all, beautiful souls. Asandi Sana to all the viewers on Facebook Live and those who have logged live on the Zoom session. Can't end my thank you without saying big thank you to my cute cousin, Dr. Lalit Soda, and our co-host, Eli Bhai. Thank you all. Asante Sana, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. With whichever part of the world you are. Thank you all. Jai Hind.
Thank you so much for this. I really enjoyed this. I can't believe it's been an hour and a half, 90 minutes on this, but it's been the most enjoyable session that I've had. So open and really friendly. So thank you for giving me this platform to share my story and be inspired by all of you.
Now we're going to unmute everybody and they can ask